So if you're a sprinter or into sprinting, in today's video, I'm going to give you guys 4 reasons why you should add hurdle drills to your training. And I'm also going to give you 4 examples of hurdle drills that you can do. So let's get into it. Hi guys, and welcome back to Fit with T. I hope you guys are good. Happy New Year. It's been a really long time since I've recorded a video for you guys. Well, a full length Fit with T video, but I've done a lot of shorts. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. So if you haven't added hurdle drills to your sprint training, the first reason why I find it really beneficial, why I like doing them, is for rhythm. Hurdle drills are a really great way to practice rhythm. Sprinting is very much about rhythm, being able to keep producing force, keep your legs turning equally on both sides, right? And so with hurdles at equal distance apart, it forces you to get into a rhythm and to be able to hold that rhythm. So rhythm is one reason why adding hurdle drills to your training can be beneficial. The second reason it can be beneficial is it can actually help with your hip flexor strength. If you haven't checked out this video where I talk about hip flexor drills, ways that you can strengthen your hip flexors and the benefits of hip flexor strength, then check that video out, right? But hip flexor strength is really important when it comes to sprinting, and hurdle drills, because of their height, force you to have to get your knee up, right? And encourage you to develop those hip flexors in the right position that you actually want them to be in. Number 3 is actually the ability to produce force or push down from a high point. So getting your foot over the hurdle, your knee up, encourages you to have to push down from a higher position, push down when your knee's at the high point rather than at a lower point, right? So they're a good way to encourage you to get that rhythm, get that hip flexor strength, but also push down equally on both legs, but push down from a high point when you need at a high point, and learn to push down to keep that rhythm, to keep that bounce as you're going over the hurdles. And the 4th reason I'm going to give is that it can actually also help with your hip mobility, right? So again, because of the height of the hurdle and you're having to get your foot up, if you're not cheating, get your foot up, get your knee up. The different exercise I'm going to show you encourage you to get your knee up and to open up your hips in different ways. So I do have a whole video about hurdle mobility drills, so check that video out if you haven't seen it, right? But even if you're doing these hurdle drills that are a bit faster, a bit more explosive, again, it still encourages you to open up your hips. So those are 4 reasons why I think that you should add hurdle drills to your training. And I'm now going to give you guys 4 exercises that you can do. So the first one is simply a lateral A skip over the hurdles, okay? So if you know what an A skip is, the regress version of the A skip, you go up to 1 foot and you come, I don't know why I have to always do an A skip. But you're going laterally over the hurdles, so you're going sideways through the hurdles, there and back. Now, the number of hurdles you can use, it can vary, so it's up to you how many you want to use, but I would say an average of around 6 to 8 is probably around average. Maybe 6 to 10, depending on how many hurdles you got on the track, depending on how many athletes you got with you and how many hurdles you can actually take for yourself without being selfish, okay? Don't be selfish, guys, don't be selfish. Lateral A skip over the hurdles is the first one. Focusing on being bouncy, focusing on pushing down from the high point, like I mentioned in one of the benefits of these drills. So push down equally with both legs, land in the middle so that you're close enough to the next hurdle as you're going over. For all of these drills, guys, I set the hurdles up where they're actually touching each other, okay? So there's no gap in between, they're touching each other, and you can begin at just the lowest level of the hurdle is usually high enough for most people. Unless you're extremely tall, then you might want to challenge yourself a bit more. But for most people, the lowest level is usually challenging enough anyway, because you have to get your foot up. Be really focused on not allowing yourself to cheat. So not allowing yourself to like twist your foot to the side to get over. Trying to make sure that everything is straight. Your knees and your hips and your feet are all coming up in a straight line, just as you would like to do when you're sprinting. So the second drill I'm going to give you is going forward over the hurdles, okay? So it's almost like I want to say an A skip, but it's almost like a skip. So you get one knee up, one leg leads. So you get one knee up, the other leg comes through like a trail leg, sort of like in a hurdle, right? Try to keep your hips forward the whole way. If you want to put your arms up in the air, you can, to just focus on the legs. If you want to include the arms, you can as well. So you have options as to how you want to execute it. But essentially you're going forward through the hurdles, okay? And again, you want to not cheat. Don't allow your foot to twist to the side to get over. Really bounce and power down. Drive the knee up to get over the hurdles, okay? So you're going forward, one leg leads. So for example, if I'm starting with my right leg, then my right leg would lead. That was the one that comes up straight, and my left leg would come a bit over to the side. But then if the left leg leads, then the left leg comes up exactly straight, and the right leg comes around and over, almost like a semi-troll leg. It is challenging because you're trying to keep your hips forward. Going laterally sometimes can be a little bit easier than going straight forward, getting your knees straight up. So really focus on bouncing, getting that knee up, driving from a high point. Like I said, you can do it with your arms in the air, or you can do it using your arms in the running, sprinting action, right? Drill number 3 is again lateral. I call it the lateral switching over the hurdles, okay? So it's a bit more like the A skip, what I call the A skip formal. And if you don't know why I'm saying a regress A skip, formal A skip, then check out my video about the A skip, the B skips, and the different versions. Going laterally over the hurdles, switching. So you switch over the hurdles, you switch over the hurdles. And again, try to be really bouncy, try to switch. Don't cheat, don't drag the leg and make it exactly the same as your A skip, your regress A skip. It's like lateral A skip over the hurdles. Try to really get that switch. So as soon as one foot comes down, the other one comes up. And again, this drill is really great for helping you to practice that switching of the legs. Drive that knee up, get the foot up, open up the hips in order to be able to do that. And then the last one, again, is a lateral drill. This time I call it the 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch. So it's like a fast foot drill. I like this drill. It really does challenge your coordination. So really need to focus on this one. This 1, 2, 3 in between the hurdles, you're doing a fast, it's like fast feet, but your legs are not low. You still try to drive the knee up as much as you can. If you haven't seen my video about quick feet, check that out. Because we never run with our knees low in sprinting, there's no point doing quick feet with really low knees. Still try to drive your knee up and still get the leg speed, right? So 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch. So switching as you go over the hurdles. And again, you're going to lead with one leg. I would encourage you just to walk around because it's quite technically challenges a lot of focus. I would say just do it one direction and then walk around and then face the other way to do the other side, to lead with the other leg, right? But if you want to challenge yourself and come back, then of course you can do that. No one's stopping you from doing that. But yeah, it does require a lot of coordination, a lot of focus on this one. It's that fast feet as well as the bounce, as well as the driving the leg up, as well as keeping your hips open, as well as pushing down from a high point and producing that power, right? So these are 4 hurdle drills that you can add to your sprint training. You can do them after drills, you can do them on a plyometric day because they're very plyometric, but in a very technical way. So I hope you guys like these drills. Let me know in the comment section below if you do hurdle drills, and if you do these or other ones, let us know in the comment section below what drills you do. And like I mentioned before, I've got a video over here about how you can use hurdles to help you with your hip mobility. And if you haven't seen it in this video where I speak about the difference between the A skip and the B skip, which I mentioned before, then check that out as well. And I'll see you guys in another video. Happy sprinting!